Hi everyone and welcome back. In this video my plan is gonna do some work on the Ram truck and also maybe some work here on the Chevelle, because my plan is we're going to remove the body from the frame, which we're gonna talk a little bit more later when we're doing it. But finally we have some nice spring weather here, at least for today and tomorrow. So I think we're gonna do some work on the Ram truck, and maybe I have to do some moving around here on in my projects, because yeah, it's a little bit of a mess right now. Can't really work when there's stuff everywhere. So yeah, we'll see what we'll do. But I wanna do some work here on the Ram truck, and mainly I wanna make the brakes don't drag as much, because it's a pain to move right now. And also I want to wash it, get all of this moss off it. And I'm debating if I'm going to sand a little bit on this and see if I can get the old paint job to reappear. That's supposed to look something like this, but I'm not sure if I'm shooting myself in the foot here and just making it look really bad. But yeah, we'll see what we do. But first of all, I want to wash this and get all of the moss off it. So that's what we're gonna do. I was preparing here to pressure wash, but unfortunately my water hose has frozen here overnight, so it has to clear, which it sounds like it might be doing right now, but hopefully the ice will melt soon. But while we wait for that, I'm gonna take my heat gun and we're gonna try to remove all of these stickers, Corvette sticker and this one on the side. And hopefully by the time we're done with that, the water hose has freed up so we can wash it. This has obviously been sitting for a few years. This is a pain to get off. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove all of this, and I will be back when I'm done. All the stickers are off, so I'm gonna go ahead and wash this now, and after that all the glue residue that is left, we can take some acetone and remove that, and probably we'll have some shiny spots where the stickers have been, obviously, but that's not much we can do about. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, wash off this moss, and see how good it turns out. So this turned out really great. I think it looks a hell of a lot better without all moss and all of that. And I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but we have a lot of stuff to fix here in the future. Rims became a bit shiny anyways, So yeah, now I think it's a lot more fun to work on it. So now we're gonna do what's really the more important thing, and that is to look on the brakes. So we have to put this up on jack stands or something, and I'm gonna check first off the front brakes, and when we're done with those we can go over to the back brakes. So that's the plan. We have it up on some blocks, and front left is really stuck and front right is really stuck. So it was rolling really rough when I drove this, so hopefully it's only in the front, but maybe we have to check in the rear also. But yeah, we'll come to that. But it's so nice spring weather here, so I'm all around the place doing a bunch of stuff that I'm not supposed to do, and I couldn't resist putting on the summer wheels here on my Chevelle. I'm so tired of these small ugly wheels. Or I mean, the rims I don't mind, but the tires make them look so bad. So yeah, I washed the Chevelle and put on the little fatter meats. So yeah, I have trouble focusing on one thing here, so time is running away. I'm gonna go ahead and fix some other stuff today before the day ends, and I will be back tomorrow, and we will tackle the brakes on the ramp truck. We're back. It's Thursday morning, and the weather right now, it's I can only do this in Celsius. I'm sorry for you Fahrenheit people, but it's about 5 degrees Celsius in the day, which is really nice, but it's 5 Celsius below freezing at night and in the morning, so it's really cold outside right now. So I really don't want to go out and work with the ramp truck yet, but we're going to get to that. So while it's cold outside, I think we can do some work here on the Chevelle, and my plan here is that I'm going to remove the body. And the reason I'm removing the body is because we're going to change out the frame. Not because it's really bad, but because of reasons. I can't understand why we did this, but over in America, the body is the car, or with the title and everything. That is what you can insure, or what you want to say. But in Sweden we consider the frame to be the car. So I don't have any paperwork for this, because this has been at the junkyard and the paperwork has been gone, lost or deleted. So we can't use this frame because I can't do anything with it. So I have bought a 1964 Chevelle 4-door frame that is exactly the same. So we're gonna remove this body, we're gonna remove all the rear and front axle stuff, and we're gonna rebuild the new frame with this stuff. Then we can put this body on. It will be a 64 Chevelle when you look at the paperwork, but anyway, we have paperwork, we can insure it, we can get it inspected, and we can use it on the streets. So that's the plan. But we're gonna lift this off here when it gets a little bit warmer. I'm gonna say all the body mounts are loose, but in fairness, there were only 3 bolts holding this together. So I really don't like lifting the body, because I think I'm making a bigger project than it has to be. But I know that the body mounts are really bad, and they have rusted through the frame and everything. So it will be better in the end. But for now, I'm gonna look a little bit more on this engine. I'm going to remove this engine. I have bought a 307 with a 350 that currently is sitting at my dad's place. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. And that engine is a little more complete and hasn't been too long since it ran. So I think that will be easier to get this thing running and driving with that drivetrain. But I'm not discarding that engine. I'm going to make that run also. I'm going to mate that for a Saginaw 4-speed I have. And we're gonna put it in this turd and do something fun with that. But that will be in the future. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking and start looking over this engine a little more. I removed the valve covers and the intake, and unfortunately, since this has been sitting outside and we have a hole in the valve covers and hole for the distributor, we have some leaves and pine needles here in the engine. And I think this hasn't seen a lot of oil changes over the years, because we have some really
big build up here, and this piece here. So yeah, this is not a great engine, but I'm gonna try and run it. I mean, it's a 305. I paid $100 for it. If it goes bad, it goes bad. But yeah, this intake port don't look that good either. But I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum out all the leaves and stuff and see if we can remove some of this junk. It looks a little bit better at least. And a fun thing about us was that this drain hole and this drain hole was completely clogged. So oil couldn't escape there. And I mean, next hole for escaping is these up here. And the fun thing was that on this side we had the cork gasket, and on that side we had the rubber gasket. So obviously they have changed this side, and I believe they changed. Of course they changed it because it leaked, but I don't think it was so much the gasket, but more that the oil didn't have anywhere to go. So I mean, the oil level would have been like up here in the valve cover. So yeah, if they would have done some more recent oil changes, they probably wouldn't have had that problem. But yeah, I've seen that some pine needles have fallen down here. So if I have any ambition of having this engine run for a while, I should probably pull the pan, check there, remove all the junk that's fallen into it. I mean, it's just a pan gasket, and then put it back together. And after that, I'm gonna do some sort of concoction with oil and diesel, or oil and automatic transmission fluid to help to loosen this up so we can flush the engine a bit. But yeah, that will be later. So I'm gonna think what we're gonna do now. A couple of interesting things was that before I only vacuumed all of the stuff out, and now I took some air and blew out all of the intake ports. And when I blew out the first cylinder port, we blew out all of this mud. It's like sea bottom mud, and I have a bigger chunk here on the frame. So I'm really curious how this mud came into this cylinder. There, I can't see it anywhere else, but yeah, I have to do some more cleaning again. But something I thought about was that the guy I bought this engine from, he pulled it out of a blazer for a person because the engine smoked. And I can't remember if he said it smoked blue or white, but either it's coolant it's burning or it is oil. And just something that I thought about, that since these were clogged, we've probably had oil a good way up here. And I mean, we have the valve seals, but I don't think the valve seals are made to be under oil. So I think that we have had a lot of oil in this valve cover, or in this cylinder head in the top here. And maybe when we have all that oil there and the valves are going up and down, they're pushing oil with it. So if we're really lucky, and first of all get this thing started, but if we get this thing started, maybe the problem that they had will not be present anymore. So yeah, we'll see if we get this thing running, but I just thought that was a little fun to mention. But anyway, I'm gonna clean a little more here, and then we'll see what we're gonna do next. My original plan was I'm gonna lift the body off first, and then we could remove the engine and trans, but since it's still cold outside, might as well pull the engine. Not gonna be any harder like this. So I put on another manifold here. Not that I wanted an aluminum one, but I didn't want to clean that one. So this was cleaned. Now that we have cleaned this engine as much as we could. So I'm gonna pull this, gonna remove the trans, and then we're gonna keep the engine in here, do some more work to it. And yeah, when it gets a little bit warmer outside, we're gonna roll this out of here. I have it outside, remove the trans, and I have never checked if there's any oil in it or anything. I don't have a dipstick, so I might as well empty the pan. Probably, I'm guessing he emptied oil when he pulled the motor, but obviously there's probably some water in there, so it's probably good to empty it. I'm gonna order a new gasket so that we can remove the pan here in the future, but for now I'm just gonna see what junk we have in there. Oj, oj, oj. So we obviously had a lot of water in it, and I saw some leaves and stuff come out. A teeny bit of oil came out, but it was really little. So I wasn't planning to do it right now, but I'm just gonna go ahead and pull the pan, and then we can look see how it looks. And I'm gonna order a new gasket, and yeah, put it together again when we cleaned it, and just send it. I mean, it's a 3 or 5 for $100. If it doesn't work, the worst case scenario, I mean, of course it turns over. Of course it's gonna work. It's gonna start, but I'm not sure how the bearings is gonna be. And if it starts to sound bad, yeah, you just have to take it apart and change the bearings. So I mean, there's no reason not to try. So yeah, I'm just gonna remove the pan and see how it looks. Got the pan off, and I mean, there's a lot of sludge and some pine needles, but overall I don't think it's any worse than we expected it to be. And obviously it's really dirty here, and we have stuff, pine needles hanging everywhere. So there was an idea that hit me, and I mean, we've had water at least up to the crankshaft, and there's water everywhere, and there's this oil sludge everywhere. So I mean, it can't get any worse by pressure washing it. So I'm gonna go ahead and rearrange this so I can remove the intake, so that I can just take some hot water and some degreaser and just pressure wash down the cylinder heads, down the lifter gallery, down up here in the at the crankshaft and everything. I mean, if the bearings are bad in any way because of the water, yeah, then they're bad. Nothing to do about it. I mean, it can't get any worse by washing it. So that's my plan right now. So I'm gonna the sun is up, and the frost is melting now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this a little bit to the side. We're gonna roll out the Chevelle, lift off the body, and when the water hose has melted again, we can pressure wash this and just send it. I mean, if it's bad, we just change the bearings down the road. So yeah, that's my plan. My plan now was to reorganize a little here with the car, so that we could then take out the engine and the Chevelle and put the Chevelle here, so we could lift off the body and yeah, do stuff like that. And for that I need my forklift, and my stupid forklift. One time it works, next time it isn't working. So yeah, I'm having some trouble here. I have taken in the propane tanks into the garage, and hopefully they will get warm, because it's been freezing here tonight, and I know that it doesn't like the cold. But yeah, we'll see if I can get it running. But in the meantime, while the tanks are heating up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and start working with the brakes on the ramp truck. Got the wheel off finally. The passenger side was really stuck. But anyway, I saw that these are just these common GM calipers. I thought that this would have some bigger calipers, but it doesn't. So I mean, I believe this is the exact same calipers we have on the K10 that we put on last week. But I'm gonna go ahead and remove this, see if we have any hope of just pumping it out and pressing it in a few times to make it work, or if we have to take it apart. So yeah, I'm gonna remove it. I got the caliper off, have it loose here, and I'm not gonna say it's unfortunate, but one of the brake pads fell apart, so that's bad. And the reason these are what looks to be pretty worn is because he has, from what I understand, he filed those down, and he has put the rotor up in the lathe and took away some material when he changed the front rotors, because it didn't fit together with the caliper. So something in this front brake arrangement is changed over the years, and something isn't matching. So I'm not sure what the problem is there. But I got the caliper off, and unfortunately the bleeder screw broke. I checked if there was any possibility to get that out, because if I got that out, or if it came loose, I could pump out the piston, clean it, and push it back, and then we could bleed it. but that's not an option right now. These calipers are really cheap on Rocado, so I mean I can't put too much time into them before it's not worth it. So I'm gonna see if we can get this to move to make it work right now, but probably in the end we're going to order up some new calipers. So yeah, I'm gonna see if we can make this move. So this day isn't really going as good as I have hoped, but I'm gonna explain why. But I tried to fix the caliper here, and I could press it out with the brake pedal until it just come to a dead halt. The pedal became really hard, and I couldn't push out the piston anymore. I managed to make it move a little bit once, and I pushed it out again, and now it's completely stuck. And I looked here. I mean, the brake hose is bad. That is, if they see that, we won't pass the inspection. Obviously the calipers are bad. One of the brake pads broke, and I just feel it's unnecessarily stressful and just pushing this to get it together to just drive it here in the yard. So instead I'm going to take a break. I'm going to order calipers, pads and hoses so that we can do this properly, so we don't have to mess with it in the future. So that's my plan right now. So for now I'm going to take a break here, and since we're taking a break with that, I want to remove the body from the Chevelle and take out the engine and wash it. And to do that, I need my forklift, and my forklift has been a pain in my ass today. I have spent way too much time messing with this. So I managed to get it to start, and then it stopped running, and I realized that I didn't have any power to the coil. So I took this separate wire, and it worked a while until it died again. So I was in the distributor and cleaned off some connections in there and managed to get it working. And when I say that, it sounds really straightforward, but I've been back and forth and to making this work, but finally it's working now, at least for now. But I managed to push this aside, so we're this far. So now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move the K10 in here between the garage so that we can work here, remove the body from the Chevelle, so that we can get the Chevelle frame back into the garage, so that we can work on that next week when it will be colder weather. So yeah, that's my plan right now. So now we're going to remove the body, and I'm actually going to try and put the forks here as they have done some time in the future when they have bent all of this. But now we're only lifting the body, not the complete frame. We don't know how complete this was when they lifted it like that. So I think it will hold up, but we'll do it slow, see if anything happens. But I think that would be the easiest way. I don't want to put straps, because then I think we're gonna squish this. So yeah, see how it goes. Of course, I missed two body bolts. The one on that side here in the rear is bad, but this one is holding on. So I tried to lose it, but it's just spinning around here in the in between the floors, so I have to do some cutting here so I can get that off. Finally, we have it off the frame, and I gotta admit that this is the first time I've ever body lifted frame off a car. So yeah, something new for me. But here we can see some problems we have with this frame. That body bushing hole is rusted through. The back end is really bad. That one has completely rusted off here in the frame, in the floor. So yeah, this frame wasn't any good anyway. But yeah, now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this body to the side so that I can push the frame into the garage again. Then we're gonna lift up and wash the engine, and then we can put that in the garage. So yeah, let's keep working. We have the frame into the garage, and I gotta say I really don't like moving this. I really feel we're working backwards, which isn't really true, but I really think we're taking this from a car to a real project. And yeah, we have to get that body back on this frame as soon as possible so that I can be inspired to work on it, because now this feels big. So yeah, but we have that in there. So now we're gonna go ahead and wash the engine. I'm gonna get some degreaser, and then we can put that back into the garage, and we can stuff the body around here and so on. So yeah, that's my plan. So I really think that this is what this engine needed. Now it's really clean inside. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in the garage, and we can think about what's next. I have it here in the garage. I have blown as much of the water away as possible. But I mean, of course, there's going to be water left. But my idea right now is that this pan gasket was one of these nice ones with the steel insert, so it isn't squished to pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it back together with the pan, with that gasket. I'm gonna fix so I can put on an oil filter and put in some oil in it so that I can get some oil pressure and hopefully get some oil through the engine. And yeah, we'll take it from there. Got a pan on, got an oil filter on. So I'm gonna add some oil to this now. Had some random quartz hanging around, so I filled them up. So we're gonna add them here, and then I'm gonna try and build up some oil pressure here. And if that works, I might put on the starter, put on the intake, put in the distributor so that we can turn it over with the starter and lube everything. So yeah, we'll see how far we come. We have oil in the engine, we have oil on the floor, of course. I was thinking I was going to paint this, but now I have oil everywhere, can't paint it. But anyway, I'm going to try and see if we have some oil pressure. This is an old distributor my dad gave me that is modified to be an oil pressure tool. So I'm going to see if we have some oil pressure. Yeah, we have. And my battery has died. But yeah, we have oil pressure. So now I have some oil up to the lifters and stuff. So yeah, can keep on working. I have a starter on here and a battery. So just gonna see if it turns over with the starter. so I mean, an engine that turns over by like this, I think, and it will also start. So I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight if I don't try to start this thing. So yeah, we have to keep working a little bit here. So I put on this manifold only because I want to get the distributor in place. And I put on some new gaskets, but I only tighten it loosely with 4 bolts only to get it in place. And we have this distributor that is supposed to work. And also have a spark plug here. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we have any spark. We have a spark, so I'm really hopeful that we're getting this thing running today. We have spark plug wires, spark plugs are in. The distributor, I hope, is in the right place. It's not my best, something I'm good at. But if everything's correct and we spray some brake in, it should fire off. If it does, I'm gonna go ahead and put on the valve covers and even maybe a carburetor. So hopefully it fires off. It's unbelievable. The $100 turd that we bought has fired off. So I'm really excited for that. But I'm gonna go ahead and put on the valve covers and see if I can put on a carb here. Okay, so we have an Edelbrock carb that I know nothing about. I bought at some swap meet with some RTV to the manifold because I didn't have a gasket, and with intake gaskets that are pretty loosely tightened with only 4 bolts. So yeah, we'll see if this works, but hopefully it does. If I thought that my week was going a bit bad with all my projects, I'm really happy now after this. I mean, this turd that I bought for $100 that it was stuck, you know, was full of sludge and just a junk engine, and now it's running. We can put it in something and use it. Does it hold 1 mile or 100 miles or 1,000? I don't know. I don't care. We got it started. So yeah, I have to gather myself here a little bit, but damn, I'm happy. What a victory getting this turd started. I haven't been this satisfied in a long while. But yeah, it really brought up my week because I'm a little bit sad that we left the ramp truck outside with the up on the blocks without wheels and non-functioning brakes. But we have started. We know what we have to buy. It looks a lot better now that it's clean. So now I can order stuff, and when we have that, we can continue working. And also
I'm a bit trouble about lifting the body of the Chevelle, but I know it's the right move to get this to be a nice, not nice car, but a good driving car. So yeah, I'm really happy with this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. So yeah, see you next week.